With the recent release of the finale of Invincible, I figured there's no better time to make a video covering the material than now. But I can't make a video talking about Mark or Conquest. Everyone's doing that. Seems like the arrival of Conquest completely made everyone forget about the Invincible War. Wait, I think I have an idea. Yo guys, Plush here, and today I wanted to make an Invincible video while the subject was still popular. Views and all that. There's gonna be more coming, but I wanted to get this one out first since I think it's a unique matchup that nobody else has done yet. I could have taken the easy route and just did Conquest versus Nappa like everyone else, but instead we're gonna do a matchup involving Sinister Mark. His opponent? Well, given that he's an evil variant of Invincible, I think it's only right that we put him against an evil variant of another character from a series that revolves around planet-conquering aliens. No, not you, Goku Black. I mean the superior Goku lookalike, Turles. But obviously, I can't put anyone from the Invincible verse against Goku Black. Really, anybody from Dragon Ball Super would just run through the Invincible verse without breaking a sweat. Invincible characters are often compared to Saiyan Saga characters to make the matchups more close. So I figured I'd keep that trend going by having Sinister Mark face off against Turles. And it definitely helps that they're both basically just evil versions of the main character who end up coming to blows with them in the series. Anyway, can Sinister Mark beat Turles? Or will Turles do him worse than he did Goku? Let's find out. We'll start with Turles since he's the easier one to scale. In the databooks, Turles is shown to have a power level of 19,000, which is higher than Prince Vegeta's 18,000. Using this, we can upscale him from feats performed by Vegeta and characters weaker. Using this logic, he should scale above Master Roshi and Piccolo's moon-busting feats respectively, which would get him into the large planetary ranges of attack potency. Given how he basically aura diffs Piccolo, who should be as strong as Saiyan Saga Vegeta, and it's implied he would have defeated Great Ape Gohan, who was bullying Vegeta, his power level could be even higher. So base Turles should consistently be in those planetary to large planetary ranges of attack potency. However, you could potentially get him higher. In base, he should be stronger than King Vegeta, who destroyed 3 planets with a swipe of his hand. This is calced to large planetary level on the low end, and dwarf star level on the mid and high ends. Using the logic that Turles is stronger than Vegeta during the Saiyan Saga, he should also be able to replicate Vegeta's own feat of planet busting, which is dwarf star level. This oddly makes star level Turles consistent. However, the canonicity of both feats is questionable. A member of the Crusher Corps states that not even Frieza would be able to handle Turles after eating fruit from the Tree of Might. So hypothetically, you could scale Turles after eating the fruit above First Form Frieza's destruction of Planet Vegeta, considering most of the universe didn't know Frieza had more than one form. This would make Turles star level only after eating the fruit, but in my opinion, I think it's okay to just give Turles scaling above Vegeta and King Vegeta. Yeah, technically those feats are filler, but I'm personally okay with scaling a non-canon character to non-canon feats. Akira Toriyama has also gone on record stating that Z filler is actually canon to the manga, so just argue with the wall on that, pal. As for speed, Turles should scale above the many instances of light dodging feats in OG Dragon Ball, which would get him in the FTL to FTL Plus ranges. You could attempt to get him higher, as he should scale above King Kai, who has the feat of being able to perceive Goku's ship as it was traveling through space, a calculation asserting that Goku's spaceship would have to be moving at 1.4 trillion times the speed of light. So, you could attempt to get Turles to MFTL Plus. And for hacks and abilities, he just has the, normal Dragon Ball stuff, Now we can move on to Sinister Mark section of the video. I'm gonna be straight up, I haven't really read the Invincible comics, I've only watched the show. And Sinister Mark's scaling comes from chain scaling him to Mark. So I want to thank my friend on Discord for giving me the scaling for most of the Invincible stuff I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'll just show his username on screen if you want to go talk to him. Anyways, first I think I should establish that Sinister Mark and Main Mark are relative. I know they never interacted in the show, but the alternate Invincibles actually do show up again in the comics. In issue 104 of Invincible, Angstrom Levy sends Mark back to the wasteland where the other Marks got sent to, and he meets Sinister Mark again. They get into a slight altercation where Mark is able to stagger him, and then Sinister Mark knees him to the face and is able to draw blood from him. Yeah, I know Mark most likely wasn't trying to fight him, but considering this is what happens when other characters in the series try to damage someone who's stronger than them, I think this is enough to establish relativity. I mean, Mark is on guard here, and he still isn't able to get Sinister Mark off of him. After this, Mark tests Sinister Mark's speed, and Sinister Mark easily catches up to him and tosses him. After this, Mohawk Mark is actually able to hold Sinister Mark off long enough for them to get away. Despite this, Sinister Mark still catches up to them after they had a head start. So yeah, Sinister Mark is able to damage Mainline Mark and easily catches up to him after he tries to fly away. Now that we've established relativity, we now have to answer this question. How strong is Mainline Mark at this point in the story? Well, as a nice baseline, Mark should be getting into those small country to multi-continental ranges of attack potency, as he has a feat of slamming Alan the Alien into the moon, which was calculated to be small country level lowballed and multi-continental on the higher end. To make this consistent, he has another feat where he basically no-sells a nuke that was going to cause the largest solar flare ever recorded in history on the sun. Calc's ever suited this feat gets into those same small country to multi-continental ranges. For some higher ends, I think Mark should scale to or above the average Viltrumite, given how he's able to literally fight the second strongest one. And we see that whenever he locks in, he actually can defeat them if he tries. This is important because Thrag stated that the 37 remaining Viltrumites would be able to tear Earth apart. Other characters have stated similar things, but basically, when Viltrumites work together, they can rip planets apart. To be able to accomplish a feat like this, each individual Viltrumite would have to be exerting moon levels of force, and we've established that Mark can hang with the average Viltrumite. Now for more high ends, we're going to have to talk about Invincible's most infamous feat, the destruction of planet Viltrum. I don't want to get into the logistics of it all, so I found a thread on the Versus Battle Wiki that explains everything. I'll post the TLDR though. With the justification out of the way, the calculation of the feat asserts that Mark, Nolan, and Thaddeus would each have to be exerting small planetary levels of force to accomplish this feat. I know planetary invincible seems like wank, but actually it isn't. This is consistent with the author's vision of the series. I mean, the entire narrative of Viltrumites is that they show up to planets, and then those planets just kind of stop existing. There's also the fact that the writer Robert Kirkman has stated in several interviews that the Viltrumites are capable of punching through planets, and even going as far as saying each Viltrumite possesses celestial body-shattering power. Now, I'm not saying Invincible is a planet buster or anything, but when you have the writer of the comic literally saying that Viltrumites can punch through celestial bodies, and then you have people horribly lowballing them to Continental, we clearly do have a problem. Also, if you think Invincible and Thrag burning on the sun means they can't be planetary, then I have some news for you. It's actually stated in the guides that plasma can interfere with Viltrumite's subatomic processes, which sort of bypasses their durability. So no, this isn't an anti-feat, this is literally just a natural weakness to Viltrumites. Like, are you gonna tell me Superman can't be planetary because he's weak to green rocks? No, this doesn't work like that. Anyway, moving on. As for speed, Mark should be getting into those MFTL plus ranges like Omni-Man and Alan the Alien. Omni-Man has a feat of going from Earth to the Virgo supercluster in just 2 weeks. Invincible characters' travel and combat speed should be relative to each other, so yeah. Overall, Sinister Mark, off of scaling to Mainline Mark, would find himself in the moon to small planetary ranges of AP, with massively faster than light combat and reaction speeds. How does he fare against Turles? Let's see. So, yeah, this is a complete wash. While Sinister Mark might have the speed advantage, he is not scratching Turles at all. Sinister Mark's highest end is an entire tier below Turles' lowest end. Remember Piccolo's moonbusting feat? He did that with a no-name Ki Blast, and he was weaker than Vegeta by a good amount at that point. Piccolo in the movie has the same power level as Vegeta, and Turles kinda just brushes off his strongest attack. So his punches might genuinely just feel like squeaky toys to Turles. It also doesn't help that this is just base Turles. He has fruit from the Tree of Might that he can eat, on top of a 10 times boost from the Uzaru form. This is honestly just a mismatch. Even with the speed advantage, we know in Invincible if you can't damage somebody, your body will just kinda break when you try to hit them. How would they fare in an equal stats matchup though? Well, I think Turles would still win. It mainly has to do with a difference of skill, as well as abilities. Sinister Mark is very clearly just a big fish in a small pond. He rarely has to fight people on his level, and he just spends time bullying people in his world. He's basically just Mark if he was Homelander. This isn't even a problem with Sinister Mark though, it's mainly just a Viltrumite problem. Invincible and other Viltrumites don't really apply martial arts to their fights. They might throw a kick in there occasionally, but it's mostly just like a school ground beatdown. Viltrumites are like the OG punch kick merchants. All they do is rush into you and hope they can land the first hit.
Don't think! Act! You need to fight like a Viltrumite!
Going against a Saiyan like Turles who lives to fight and can go toe to toe with a master martial artist like Goku? Yeah, anyone who is decently skilled in martial arts would probably just cook most Viltrumites. Like, make Daredevil or like Batman a Viltrumite, and they're cooking the entire race. So yeah, equal stats or not, Turles is beating Sinister Mark low diff. What do you think though? Do you think Sinister Mark is stronger than Turles? Do you think I lowballed Invincible and wanked Turles? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked the video, consider subscribing. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.